Hi, it's me, your favorite internet boy. We don't know each other yet, but I hope you will stay on my channel. We're gonna have a great time together. Recently, there's been a lot of buzz about a consulting organization called Sweet Baby Inc. That they are destroying games by turning them into activist crap. But I'm curious about one thing. Are they really that untalented? To answer that question, I decided to go to the epicenter of the cesspool and play the game of their own creation. It wasn't easy because it's a consulting organization that cooperates with other studios. They are not making their own products. But fortunately, I found the right candidate. From what I know, Goodbye Volcano High was mainly made by Sweet Baby Inc. staff. This game is also known from the fact that a group of 4chaners users decided to make a parody of it, but I will cover that in the next video. So without any delay, let's take a look at Goodbye Volcano High. Is this game really that bad as it seems? Well, it just so happened that I finished it, and I can say that this is the worst piece of crap I ever played. I created my own rating scale for this channel, and after playing this game, I had to update it because it was off the scale. But first, let's discuss the positive aspect of this game, because I'm a very positive person. The music is average and the design of the characters our heroes take on while playing D&D looks decent. That's pretty much it. Now let's take care of the rest. Unfortunately, it won't be that easy because this game corrupted all my game recordings. I have a full HD monitor and the game for some reason set itself to 4K, which made OBS go crazy and all the recordings look like this.
How are you always ready so fast?
Pack your bag the night before. It's basic time.
I didn't have time to notice it because I finished the game in one session. Luckily, Cave Anon, the creators of the parody of this game, streamed the entire game for its release and put the footage on their channel. And that's what I will be using in my review. There is no way I'm going through this shit again, so thanks, you saved my ass. Let's start with the element that is most striking. The art style. While the background in this game looks decent, the character design is the most horrendous thing I've seen in any game. All the body shapes and proportions are just wrong. Just look at this. I don't even know how to describe it properly. It looks like a Tumblr artist drew it, which is probably true. The worst thing is that they contrast terribly with decent backgrounds, which looks artificial, as if they were just simply put there without any care. But enough about the art style. Let's talk about the plot and characters. After all, this is a visual novel, isn't it? Those two things are the complete foundation of the genre, and they were done by a consulting company that deals mainly with narrative and characters. So they have to be good. Well, I have no idea how to put this into words. It's dog shit, but I will give in that. The premise of the story is quite interesting. The main characters find out that in a few days an asteroid will hit the planet, and during those few days they try to fulfill their dreams and get used to the idea that in a few days everyone could die. It's a really interesting concept to explore. The problem is that the game doesn't use it. The asteroid doesn't appear in the game at all. It's only mentioned at the beginning, and then the characters forget about it, and it's not mentioned until practically the end of the game. So what is the story about? Honestly, I don't know. The plot of Goodbye Volcano High is a set of very loosely connected events that are happening after each other. Most of them could be cut out completely and it would have no impact on the overall plot. That's the best way I can describe it. The whole story is boring. They somehow managed to make a story about extinction event boring. But the worst part are the D&D sessions with friends. This is the worst side plot in the entire game. The adventures are so boring that they put you to the sleep. The dialogues are terrible and the whole thing drags on forever. If it only had any impact on the story. For example, the characters could resolve their real-world disputes during their time together, but they don't. This entire side plot could be cut out from the game, and it wouldn't affect the story at all. This is the most ham-fisted, artificial extension of the game I ever seen. The characters are unfortunately not better. They are bland, with no personality beyond a random trait that describes their character. For example, Trish likes bugs. That's it. That's the whole personality of that character, and literally everyone is written like that. It's just pathetic. But the worst part of this game are the dialogues. They are the most blunt, safe, sterile dialogues I ever seen in my entire life. It makes all the interactions between the characters feel completely artificial and fake. No normal person communicates like this. Everything is written as if the developers were mortally afraid that something may be offensive to someone. So even if someone has a fight or takes some offense at someone, there are still no offensive words used. There is no real conflict between the characters, even when there should be one. And when one does appear towards the end of the game, it's immediately resolved in the most artificial way possible. So basically, every interaction between the characters in this game feels fake. And as you probably can guess, your decision don't matter. No matter what dialogue you choose, the plot will always go the same way, because this game has only one ending. But it's even worse in the case, because the game literally forbids you to make a decision. Basically, you can only say yes. Even if you choose a dialogue that says no, your character will still say yes. And sometimes the game will forbid you to choose the dialogue you want to choose, and if you hover over it with your mouse, it will remove it completely, like literally remove it. The best example of this is the scene when a fight breaks in our band, because Trish says she doesn't want to play in it anymore because her dream is to study bugs. The best part is that she doesn't tell us about her plans until the end of the game. Even though Fang noticed from the very beginning that she was acting strangely. But whenever she tries to find out if something was wrong, Trish avoided the conversation, and now she's angry at her for not figuring out that she doesn't want to play in this band because apparently Fang should be able to read her mind. This scene shows Trish as a complete toxic person who doesn't care about anyone else and only put herself on the pedestal. So of course the game doesn't let us argue with her, it just takes Trish's side, and no matter what dialogue we choose, we still have to apologize to her in the end. There is nothing better than promoting a toxic relationships. Voice acting unfortunately doesn't help. At worst it's horrendously bad, at best it's mediocre. But for the most time it's in the middle of that. The voice actors aren't that bad, and the voices fit the characters, at least in the most cases. But all the dialogues are delivered without any emotion, which only adds to the feeling of fakeness to all the conversations. The technical state of this game is tragic. A lot of graphic bugs, scenes that unnaturally cut off in the middle of the dialogues, and the worst are the animations, which are terrible, and most of them are completely unfinished. Remember that we are talking about a visual novel here. I think I can end here. I could mention many more things, like a rhythmic minigame where your score absolutely has no effect on anything, but these are details that are not worth mulling over. As I mentioned earlier, this game completely broke the scale I have prepared for this channel, because 1 out of 10 on my channel means that game is so bad that it's boring. In this case, it's much worse. This game is so bad that I personally hate it. So that's why Goodbye Volcano High gets a 0 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.